let's go to a person who never seems to be anywhere he's wanted or where he's accomplishing anything. Now, this one's where he's totally working out, bruh. There's like a whole one of these exercise units over here with the pull-up bar and the cross thing. By the way, I want one of these things. I'm just saying. This might be my Christmas gift to myself this year if I can, save up for it. But having one of these like cable cross things in the house, lovely idea for it. Now, that's not where he is. He's in the exercise room at at Bedminster or something like that, where they've turned one of the old construction, or I don't know if they have like dining rooms or if these are like places where conventioneers meet and shit like that. But you can see over here on the left side, you see the handles on probably what's a stair climber kind of thing. So he's in the gym there. I mean, maybe this is his house gym. He is an alleged billionaire. And, it's always good when you're an alleged billionaire, or the son of an alleged billionaire. I guess the third generation rich dipshit son of an alleged billionaire who's been lying all along about his money and is basically living off the teat of his supporters. That you're going to want to have shit you can sell for blow around at all times. So, yes, you did see Rudy use the a Lincoln filter. Okay. Anyways, this is him on Rumble on Sebastian Gorka. So if there's two people that hate America more than these guys, well, besides MTG and Gosar and Greg Kelly and I don't know, they're not alone. They're not lonely. Uh-oh. I'm going to jump back in here.
Day travel.
Is this do we have to watch this? I'm not watching this whole fucking thing. Where is it? Oh, there he is. Okay. And this is his show on. Where's this fucking show?
To the Gorka Reality Check.
The Gorka Reality Check is the name of this show. God damn, dude, so ham-handed. But then maybe it works. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like talking to John Fugelsang, and we're both like, maybe there's something to being too dumb for the room.
Good to be with you, Seb. How's everything?
And by the way, when he means be with you, he means be with you. Basically, it's the same kind of facial hair situation together. They're definitely...
Well, you tell me. You've been fighting the good fight on the road for your father for years.
And by the way, fighting the good fight, of course, means denigrating women who've accused his father legitimately of sexual assault and accusing them of being liars or just flat out saying that their assault never happens. That's what he means by fighting the good fight, in case you need to clarify. Oh, and also trying to destroy democracy. Also, Gorka thinks that's the good fight as well.
Would you verify the story I told about his commitment to law enforcement and how he thinks it would be utter insanity to continue the defund the police movement?
Yeah. I'm sorry, who are we talking about? Cory Booker?
Well, you say it 100% right. I mean, he did that not just then, but at virtually every stop that he's done. I mean,
and then his supporters injured 140 police officers just during the Capitol riot, and the groups like the Bundys and the Proud Boys and those kind of crowd have been busted for planning not only to fight basically a war against police officers. We of course remember the good old Bundys, who are all Trump voters, having sniper rifles, not unlike the one MTG was fucking around with, pointing them at the heads of police officers who were just there to enforce the fact that they were grazing on public lands and not paying for it, like everybody else has to, so that there's enough grazing lands for everybody, and they just kind of let them loose. But never mind. All for it. Yes. I mean, you got to have the Blue Lives Matter flag, right? You got to carry it around, pretend to believe it, so you have something to beat up a cop with when you get a chance.
So much so that there are law enforcement that I'm aware of that literally have volunteered just to be in the area in their off time, just in case something happened, because they understand my father's love of law enforcement.
I don't know how else to put this. Is he bosoming right now? What what bizarre the entire lack of shoulders. Sorry.
Of law and order, and those people who keep us safe and risk life and limb every day to do so. So that continues to,
like the Capitol Police.
happen even now. As he's not the president, when he goes places, he always takes the time for our great men and women in blue.
Yeah, just so, he wants to meet them so that if they ever say anything negative about him, he can send his supporters to burn their house down or attack the station.
Now, when you look at the broader situation, it's not just the police, it's the empty shelves, it's the open border,
Well, of course there's empty shelves. You got all these immigrants streaming across the border, immediately rushing in and buying up all the toilet paper. Now, never mind the fact that a lot of the pictures of the empty shelves were taken in 2020 after the rush on goods from COVID and the stories about that. But yeah.
Cargo ships off the Newport Beach in California. You've written 2 books. The first is Triggered. The second one, just out, is Liberal Privilege.
Yes, they're and ironically, they're not coloring books.
Has this subtitle, Joe Biden and the Democrat Defense of the Indefensible. Will you explain that, especially from...
Yeah, especially considering your father's defense of attacks on the Capitol and him telling, I think it was Kevin McCarthy, that the people who broke into the Capitol, broke windows, attacked police officers, shit in the building, took it over, stopped the natural exercise of democracy for a time, that he defended them as people who just care more about the country than, say, Kevin McCarthy does. That kind of thing. Like how can you explain that subtitle when your dad is still involved in what is effectively an anti-American attack on the nation after he lost an election fair and square because he's a what's the word I'm looking for? The phrase. Oh, fucking loser.
Perspective as a child who traveled...
Well, just child in general.
Behind the Iron Curtain and saw real socialism. When conservatives say they're socialists, the Democrats have gone radical, this isn't an exaggeration, is it?
Yeah, it is, actually. Yes, it is an exaggeration. Yeah, it is. See, even in the Build Back Better plan, when they're doing universal pre-K, they're not building government pre-K facilities. They're giving people money to choose the pre-K facility they would want to go to. In the community college zone, they're not paying in-state community colleges to take in the state community college students just like it was high school and just let them move on. You could get the money to go to community college if you want and go to any fucking community college in the country. You know what that's called? Capitalism. Yeah, you're taking money that you're getting as a tax refund, effectively, that's an investment in taxes towards the future of the country, and you can spend it anywhere the fuck you want. Now, the one area where there's like an internal method of socialism that you could arguably say does exist, although it has breakouts from it, is of course the military. There are military bases with military housing on the compound, and they do go to the VA. They can go to VA hospitals and nobody else can. But that's actually normal taxation as well, because people who come back from war have a lot of problems that aren't normal to people who, say, work in factories or coffee shops or do their other shit. They don't, you're not going to get a bunch, unless football aside, you're not going to get a bunch of patients with the same kind of brain injury from impact explosions, let's say, that the VA has to deal with in regular hospitals all the time. So you need specialty care facilities for people who've been at war or go through certain shit. So even that, while that would be internally, you could argue that that's not the government giving them money to go seek treatment elsewhere, that they are actually creating the hospitals themselves. And these are government-run hospitals that are, and the staff are paid by government funds, which would be externalized, would be socialism. Internally in the military, it is simply the American people have decided that people that go to war need special care. And so we're building special hospitals just for them to go to that nobody else can go to because they make a special sacrifice in putting their lives and their limbs on the line for the rest of us. So fuck you.
Seen it, Don?
No. 100%. I think some of my
Yeah, 100%, 100%, 100%. Well, 72%. Well, 32%, guys.
political leanings happened to me as I was a child. Right? It'd be very uncommon for this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, he did. He was behind the Iron Curtain. It's true. He did travel to the artist formerly known as the USSR with his father for a beauty pageant, where his father barged in on 15-year-old girls as they were changing and stuck his thumbs in their mouths to check their teeth. You know, like any good Christian would do.
Son of a billionaire from Manhattan, a real estate developer from New York City, to become a very staunch conservative. But my mother escaped what was communist Czechoslovakia. My grandparents saw a taste of the freedoms and the blessings that we have here in this country, and they wanted to make sure that I saw and understood that. So I traveled with them there every.
And apparently, you don't know the difference between the state seizing the means of production for all products and services put out and someone getting a Pell Grant. 'Cause you're fucking dumb.
6-8 weeks, I've waited in those bread lines. We're starting to see the empty shelves that I experienced then in communist Czechoslovakia in the.
What? Excuse me. You stood in line for 8 weeks? Beg your pardon?
That I experienced then in communist Czechoslovakia in the 80s in America right now. And you look at my title, and that's.
No, you aren't. People are not waiting in line at like they were in Czechoslovakia for the government to hand shit out. There is overconsumption of certain goods because of stockpiling. What the fuck? The bread line. Eat a dick.
We all knew this was coming, Seth. They all but have said it. The media did.
They all but have said it. City after city will soon be hollowed out. It's the purge, kids. Yeah, I mean, I know you were watching the Build Back Better speech that Biden gave today about, us investing in infrastructure. That's never going to happen, really. We're just going to end up empty shelves and if all of your food comes from China, what else are you going to do? Jesus Christ.
It could to cover it up because they realize that none of these policies, not a single thing that Joe Biden has done, is actually popular with the American people.
Well, no, the American Rescue Plan is incredibly popular. Still, and growing in popularity from the people that it's serving. And as a matter of fact, the bridge that he was talking about today, that's part of the infrastructure package and the Build Back Better plan that Biden was talking about fixing for the trains, that money was in the rescue plan. There was already some infrastructure shit in the rescue plan earlier this year, and the money's being spent.
Evidenced by his poll numbers, and that's his poll numbers today, with literally the entire mainstream media complex, the entire world of big tech working to boost him, working to make.
Well, no, everybody shit on him about the Afghan withdrawal, and your dad's pissed right now that they've stopped mentioning it because either they came to their senses and realized that there was no magic plan that Trump had, and there was never going to be a plan under Trump if he'd have won to get out of there ever, and that the person getting us out actually did the tough thing, which is ultimately going to pay off next year as his poll numbers improve, especially as we get near Christmas. But, but please, build the panic now.
You seem like he's something.
Again, by the way, we talked about this in that if you're in office, the plan seems to be for a lot of people is that once you get inside, you kind of coast on the good numbers that you get right after you've been elected, the charity of the American people, the fact that you've won, that kind of stuff. And you do stuff that's kind of generically popular. And then if there's something awful, a Band-Aid you have to pull off that you ran on or that you did, the idea is that a lot of people just keep booting it down the road. They keep punting because let's try to do some stuff that's more popular so we can build to a bigger something that we want to get done. Biden has already come in and gone, that's not a fucking option.
Other than the incompetent dolt that we see on television every day. They're going with trillion.
It's weird that the incompetent dolts got us out of Afghanistan, and now China and Russia are angry that we're not there drawing gunfire away from their fucking around.
Industries trying to build him up, but the American people are seeing through it. Failed policy after failed policy after failed policy. And it's a shame that America is going to have to, unfortunately, I think, hit rock bottom to wake up. Because I've
You wish, fucko.
experienced rock bottom. I saw it in my childhood in communist Czechoslovakia.
Yes, believe me, your childhood is anyone's rock bottom. We've seen your dad. We've heard the stories. Would you consider that, and I'm curious, worse than the baseball game your dad punched you for not wearing a suit to, or wherever the fuck that was?
And that's where we're going. And again, it's not by accident. This is the Democrat plan for America, because the elites in power, as they were back in the communist days, will always be the elites in power. They can leave a pretty good life. It's everyone else that will be oppressed. Everyone else that will.
Oh, you mean like rich elites in, say, New York City that even if New York is having problems, they just kind of have gold leaf furniture and eat well-done steaks while everybody else is going through a tough period, or they get to write off millions of dollars worth of losses that are caused by their ineffective business practices and pretending it's because of the economic downturn of 2008, that kind of shit?
Live in squalor under the socialist communist structure that they're ultimately trying to push these days.
Yeah, you've seen.
But by the way, the socialist communist structure he's talking about is the U.S. government hiring private companies to build bridges and repair roads. You know, capitalism, democratic taxation, representation for your tax dollars going to things you want them to go to, and private companies carrying that out by hiring employees at a decent wage.
In real life, and now it's coming here in America with empty shelves in the richest nation on God's earth.
It's terrible. Oh no. Empty shelves. It's coming. It's gonna, well, I mean, they'll be empty and then they'll fill up again, but it's all, what will we do without all the Chinese toilet paper?
Insanity. You mentioned big tech. You mentioned Palo Alto, Silicon Valley.
By the way, I do want to say that as bad as it's gotten out there for you and for me, as our cities continue to be hollowed out and no one's going anywhere or doing anything and everything is falling apart, the good news is that neither of these guys is skipping dessert. And I don't want you to think for a second, I don't want you to worry about them, okay? Neither one of them is ever saying no to a parfait, you know? So I know some of you were grinding your teeth in your sleep about it. And empty shelves equals 98% full, right?
Totally in the tank for the radicals, for the Dems. Mark Zuckerberg sinking at least $400 million
into random voting that could have turned on him if the voters that they had supplied, drop boxes and the like had voted for Trump. But
privatization of elections last year. However, great news this week. I know a lot of MAGA people out there, America First Americans, are super excited about this new truth platform that you.
Yes. Oh, they're not the only ones. Oh, no. Hang on there for a second, champ. Truth. Oh, God. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, shit. I know I have it. Hold on. Let's see. I got to do it in here. Let's see. Look, the idea that you guys think that the only people excited about this thing are quit. No thanks. The only people excited about this truth thing is, I mean, come on. Problems with the launch of Donald Trump's Truth social media platform continue to pile up as Gizmodo's Lucas Ropek writes that observers are pointing out that there's evidence the beta version of the site, which it will always be. There will never be an alpha version because there can be only one. Trump will not allow there to be anything but a beta version. And by the way, if technically speaking, you can join the site, but you cannot mock Trump or the site, It is a beta version. You are beta if you actually want an account on Truth, of the website that contains what appears to be stolen code. In just a few days, the conservative social media platform has seen early investors pull out after that's the whole digital world, blah, blah, blah. According to one investor who has 10% interest in the company, the idea that I would help Trump build out a fake news business called Truth makes me want to throw up. According to Ropek, the social media platform could be on the receiving end of a lawsuit over misappropriating code. Theft. Like Parler, you getting their instead of setting up genuine security features for people's personal information on Parler, they just used the trial version of the software that was available on WordPress and never fucking paid for the good version. It would appear that Trump's new site is not only unoriginal in concept, but also in code. As originally reported by Vice News, Truth Social seems to have lifted its digital DNA directly from Mastodon, the open source alternative social network known for its focus on user privacy and autonomy. The Gizmodo reports similarities in the code were first spotted by early users of the platform who noted front-end similarities between it and Mastodon. Of course they stole it from Mastodon, for fuck's sake. I'm surprised it's not just a Ning site. One user even took a screenshot of the HTML of Trump's news site, which shows explicit mention of Mastodon in the code. Oh, God. And there you have it. Donald Trump, the thieving pieces of shit of thieving pieces of shit. Mastodon leases its software under something called the AGPL v3 license, which basically stipulates users can use this code so long as they acknowledge where it came from and make the copied or modified code available for public inspection. Yeah, that's not going to happen. However, in its own terms of service, Truth Social claims that all source code from its software is proprietary, essentially failing to mention that it lifted the code from somewhere else. In an interview, Mastodon founder Eugene Rochko, what's up, Gene, stated there is no dispute that it is his code and said he is looking for a lawyer. Oh boy. Dem lawyers. Go reach out to Eugene. I do intend to seek legal counsel on the situation. Compliance with our license is very important to me, as that is the sole basis on which I and other developers are willing to give away years of work for free. I believe that as of this time, Truth Social indeed seems to be using Mastodon code. If you look at these screenshots and compare them to any standard Mastodon installation, it will be pretty obvious. That's right. Not only is Trump unoriginal, you remember he borrowed America First from isolationist wannabe Nazis in America who didn't want to get involved in the Germans wiping out the Jews because but yeah, tell us all about it. Launching so excited. Yahoo News. Look at this. Donald Trump launching new social media platform, Truth Social. It was, and I'm sure it was as generic as all that. I'm sure it was all like 5 stars.
Father has announced a new social media platform. What is your message, Don, to those who've been waiting so long, but in the intervening 9 months, they've become dejected? They look at last...
Yeah, they're looking around. They're on Parler, and all their metadata on all their photos and videos were stolen because Dan Bongino is a fucking moron and does not give a shit about his own customer base. It's just a way to be a leech. And of course they saw that and went, ooh, can we do that as well? And they are, of course. By the way, your private information is not and will not be safe on Truth Social. No fucking way. There is no way they are bothering to do genuine security on that site. No way. Bongino's a fucking idiot. We'll get to him in a minute. He's getting dumber by the day, apparently. I think the studio he's using at Cumulus is either at a very high altitude with no windows, or they've just been sucking the air out of the room and he's got hypoxia. Because, oh God. Yes, Reagan stole America first, and he stole it from them. Right, exactly. Truth Social. Jesus Christ. Yes, hashtag be best will not be allowed on the site, okay? It's like the, literally Truth Social will be the anti-hashtag be best site.
That's it. It's over. It's done.
Thank you, Ethan.
What is your message to them, Don?
Please keep sending your money. Please sign up for Save America PAC and become a recurring donor.
Listen, we've heard it. I've been one of the leaders screaming like, hey, wait a minute. Like, I've been in Facebook.
Yes, that's what leaders do. They scream. Who's our lead screamer right now? Wait, I thought we were the snowflakes.
Jail. I've been thrown off the platforms. I've been, shut down, deplatformed, all of these things that all of our people have experienced. If you're pro-life, if you're pro-Second Amendment,
No. There's plenty of pro-life, pro-Second Amendment people on all the social media platforms. If you're a pro-lifer who's calling for people to be murdered, you're going to get kicked off. If you're pro-Second Amendment, but your idea about pro-Second Amendment is threatening the lives of living people and lying about their position about Second Amendment, for example, you're going to get kicked off. No one is being kicked off of any social media platform for being pro-life, for being pro-Second Amendment, for being America First conservatives. No one. This fucker's still on Twitter. You get kicked off for lying in a way that endangers lives because these companies have terms of service that you agree to be on there. Yeah, why is he screaming? Because he can't do anything.
Just if you're pro-First Amendment in this country, if your opinions don't align with those of big tech and the oligarchs there.
Well, I have a lot of opinions that don't align with the big tech oligarchs, and yet I'm still on the platform because I'm able to express them without calling for the deaths of my fellow Americans.
Shut down. We've seen it. It only goes one way, Seb. So they always say, well, if you don't like it,
it only goes one way. That's why on Truth Social, oh fuck, man, hold on. They're shutting them down. This is fucking hell. It goes one way. Can you imagine a Twitter where you couldn't type fuck Twitter? That's what this is. Which you, by the way, you can. You could tweet fuck Twitter right now. You could write a whole post, fuck Facebook. Facebook sucks. This is terrible. I hate Facebook. Facebook is full of disinfo, foreign attacks on our democracy. You could write a whole post about that on Facebook. Basically, Trump got his terms of service from the Chinese social network system Weibo. You cannot make fun of the overlords. Fucking hell. Tell me about First Amendment purity again. Tell us again. What's that? What was that again? Allegedly. According to Truth Social's terms of service, these are binding, legally binding agreement made between you and whether person on behalf of any entity, you, we, us. You agree that by accessing it, you have read, understood, and agree, bound to ensure supplemental terms of service may be posted to the site from time to time and are hereby expressly incorporated herein by reference. So on their site, holy shit. So on we all have to do our iTunes terms of service and shit like that again. And you always have to scroll through and pretend you're reading it and then up to it. They're not bothering with that. If you sign up for the first thing of terms of service, it is understood that any changes they make in the future, whether they tell you or not, you are now bound legally by terms of service you can't possibly fucking see. They're not going to let you know they've changed and updated them, but you are legally bound by them just by signing up on this one. What the fuck? Freedom. Kiss my ass. Jesus. We will alert you about any changes by updating the last updated date of these terms of service, and you waive any right to receive specific notice of each such change. So don't forget, by the way, any Trumpers or maggots that are signing up, I would recommend that in your, quarterly or every few months, depending on what your cycle is, you should change your passwords on everything like I do. And I set a little alarm for myself, like a little to-do thing on a specific date. Hey, today's the day, right? So if you're on Truth, on Trump's platform, you might want to set one of those, and next to it, set a check the terms of service to see if they have made it legally binding that I have to give Trump money out of my bank account or they can sue me. And I went 90 days without noticing, and therefore I have no recourse in law. You signed it. You accepted it. Fucking hell. All right. It is your responsibility to periodically review these terms of service. They're not even going to bother to tell you. Fucking hell. Shit. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, join in the chat room. If you're out there just watching, just type a hello. If you don't normally get in the chat room, let us know you're there. It helps add to how many are in the chat, and that helps us in the algorithm, so you don't have to get involved in any big conversations. Just do a little wave, or you can super chat or any of that kind of stuff. And I will never change my personal terms of service with you without letting you know ahead of time. Jesus Christ, this is pitiful. I had no idea it was this bad. This is the terms of service for Truth Social. Fuck. All right. It is your responsibility to periodically review the terms of service. Hi. Shit. The information provided on the site is not intended for distribution or use by any person or entity or in any jurisdiction or county where such distribution or use would be contrary to law or whatever. Like, just fucking boilerplate. Intellectual property right. Unless otherwise indicated, the site is our proprietary property, and all source code, databases, functionality, software, website design, audio, video, text, photographs, and graphics on the site, collectively, the content, collectively now, Ayn Rand is going to be spinning in her fucking grave. It's part of the collective. Holy shit. Trump's Truth Social is a socialist utopia. Collectively, the content. Well, and I will give them that the air quotes are valid. Little bunny, fuck you. Little bunny, fuck you. Holy hell. And the trademark, service marks, logos contained therein, the marks. I think that's actually how they refer to the users on the site. The marks. Are owned and controlled by us, or licensed to us, and are licensed to us, meaning any of your shit you put on there is licensed to them. Trump's site is just going to use your shit for free. Anything you post is theirs. Fucking Facebook doesn't allow this. Passwords is my first task when I get my robot Hal. Okay, good. That's wise. Trademarks, yeah. And are protected by copyright and trademark laws and various other intellectual property rights and unfair competition laws in the United States. So, like, they own your shit and are protected by all the laws of, what's the big government? That's what I was thinking. Shit. Content marks are provided on the site as is for your information and personal use only, except as provided. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Privacy policy. We care about your data and security. We do. We've developed a privacy policy in order to inform you of its practices with respect to collection, use, disclosure, protection of your information. Please review our privacy policy. Okay. We'll do that next. Truth Social. You access the site from the European Union, Asia, or any other region of the world with laws or requirements governing personal data collection, use, disclosure from applicable laws that differ from applicable laws in the United States, then through your continued use of the site, you are transferring your data to the United States. Oh, man. Nobody wants, the poor foreign maggots. What are they going to do? He's basically, hey, Macedonian hacker farms. This dude is backdooring your entire endeavor. You have basically just been weaponized by Truth. And you expressly consent to have your data transferred to and processed in the United States. Please review our data policy as to data collection and processing for all users. Oh boy, look at this. Let's see. See if this gets, I know, because I didn't put the whole, hold on. There was a period on there. This guy. What data do we collect? How do we collect your data? How will we use your data? Yeah, let's see this. How do we collect your data? We directly provide our company with most of the data we collect. The fuck? We directly provide our company with most of the data the data we collect. We only collect such personal information on our site or in our app when you voluntarily provide it to us. We collect data and process data when you subscribe online, create an account to subscribe for any of our services. So if they ask for a credit card, it's theirs. They own it. Provide your email address to sign up. Perform searches on our site so they will gather your entire search history. Voluntarily subscribe to communications or contact us on any of our message boards or via email. Use or view our websites via your browser's cookies. Provide any information voluntarily when using our company may also receive your data indirectly from the following sources. Information about your computer or device, internet connection, including operating system and browser type. Unless you check the no box, which already comes unchecked, and you have to find it if you can find it. Details of your visits to our site, including traffic logs and data. How will we? Well, let's see how they will use your data. Truth. Our company collects your data so that we can create your account to subscribe to our site. That makes sense. Email you with special offers on our products and services. On other products and services that we think you might like. Track your visits to our website for advertising and analytics. Provide personalized advertising and sharing data with third-party web clients or applications. Track audience size and usage patterns. Recognize you as a returning user to our site. For data collection from European Union, EFTA sites, Brazil, and the United Kingdom, the primary legal basis we rely on for such processing is contractual necessity. How do we store it? Centralized, secure locations to save our files. And we secure our data through encryption in transit and at rest. Your data will be stored in accordance with the applicable record retention requirements of the company, U.S. laws, and any other applicable laws, which are none, because the law is what they say it is as far as what you give them. Anything you voluntarily enter into, which includes having all your shit sold to third parties. Oh, and by the way, some of the third parties, just so you know, in case you're wondering, some of the third parties that are mentioned are companies that sell user data. So it doesn't stop at like a third party. It's fifth party, 10th party, whatever. All right, so... But okay, where were we? That's the social privacy policy. We'll get to that in a second. By using this site, you represent and warrant that all registration information you submit will be true, accurate, current, and complete. You know, you're basically under oath in a way that Trump would refuse to in front of any, congressional committee. You'll maintain the accuracy of such information and promptly update such registration information as necessary. If we ask for your telephone number and you change your telephone number, you are legally in violation of this. And I'm sure there's money we can get from you. You have the legal capacity and you agree to comply with these terms of service. You're not under the age of 13, not a minor in the jurisdiction where you reside. You will not access the site through automated or non-human means, whether a bot, script, or otherwise. Oops. You will not use the site for any illegal or unauthorized purpose. Well, unauthorized, what the fuck is that? And illegal by whose laws? The United States laws? Or is this that you say this is their own personal Section 230, right? I mean, a lot of this is boilerplate you'll see on any other site as well. If you provide any information that is untrue, inaccurate, not current, or incomplete, we have the right to suspend or terminate your account and refuse any and all current and future use of the site. So you got to keep your shit up to date. It's incomplete. They can kick you off the site forever. Womp wah. Prohibited activities. What can't you do for America? You may not access or use the site for any purpose other than that for which we make the site available. Worshipping Trump. The site may not be used in connection with any commercial endeavors except those that are specifically endorsed or approved by us. So you can't sell your fucking lead-lined dick pills on there, Alex Jones. Sorry. You gotta, they'll be partners. They'll have a partner agreement. You agree not to Systematically retrieve data or content from the site to create or compile directly or indirectly a collection, compilation, database, directory without written permission from us. Yeah, because that's what hackers do. They'll write you a note. That, like, if only Parler had thought to do this. Shit. Make any unauthorized use of the site, including collecting usernames and or email addresses, use electronic means, other purpose, and creating user accounts by automated means or under false pretenses. Use a buying agent or purchasing agent to make purchases on the site. Having a PayPal link, I guess, on your account. Use the site to advertise or offer to sell goods and services. How much you want to bet they're going to be kicking people off for this shit? I don't think so. And you think minute somebody wants to sell a MAGA hat of their own making, a MAGA hat? Thank you, Jeff. Engage in unauthorized framing or linking to the site. Yeah, this is to keep the news from posting anything. Circumvent, disable, or otherwise interfere with the security-related features of the site. Yeah, don't do that, guys. Okay? So don't do that. Trick, defraud, or mislead us or other users, especially in an attempt to learn sensitive account information, such as user passwords. All right. Make improper use of our support services or submit false reports of abuse or misconduct. Engage in any automated use of the system, such as using scripts to send comments or messages. Interfere with a lot of this boilerplate too. Sell or otherwise transfer your account. Attempt to impersonate another user or person or use the name. Well, how many people signed up as Mike Pence in the beginning of this? Fuck. Use the site as a part of any effort to compete with us or otherwise use the site and or the content for any revenue-generating endeavor or commercial enterprise. Yeah, bye. You don't think there's going to be a bunch of, like, maggot Trump knuckleheads are going to be selling fucking horse paste on here from day one? Decipher, decompile, disassemble, or reverse engineering the software compiling and making it part of the site. I think they just lifted that number 15 from Mastodon. From the Mastodon's terms of service. Attempt to bypass, harass, annoy, intimidate, or threaten any of our employees or agents engaged in providing any portion of the site to you. Excuse me. My rights as an American, my First Amendment rights guarantee me the use of this site, not some person put there, all right? Okay. Delete the copyright or other proprietary notices from any content. Copy or adapt the site's code to HTML, Flash, Java, whatever. Upload or transmit, accept the result of standard search engine browser user. Disparage, yeah, here it is. Disparage, tarnish, or otherwise harm, in our opinion, us and or the site. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Cause this site really sucks and they need a button that will... denied. Yeah, there we go. Number 23, kids. Shit. Yeah. So when you get pissed that they can sell you shit and they're giving their friends a special power to use PayPal and all kinds of other shit on the site. If you go, why the fuck can't we do that? And they kick you off. Sorry. Gotta read the fine print, kiddo. Third-party websites and content. By the way, I'm more than likely, were I to have an account on this, I'm in violation of all of this from day one. But if you want to drop by, there they are. You can go to 1100 South Ocean Boulevard, Palm Beach, Florida. To the attention chief legal officer. They can't give you a name because that person's going to be fired for being a Democrat who just got coffee about every 6 weeks. Look at the terms and termination. You know, we're against cancel culture, all right? Understand? We're against cancel culture. That's why we put this part in all fucking caps. These terms of service shall remain in full force and effect while you use the site without limit any other provision. We reserve the right to, at our sole discretion and without notice or liability, deny access to the use of the site, including blocking certain email and or IP to any person for any reason or for no reason, including without limitation for breach of any representation. Jesus Christ. For any reason or no reason, because I'm proud to be an American where I've got my truth so sure. Sorry, what were you cancel culturing about? Remember that? That's what we were talking about, this fucko. I've got the door shut so Chip won't get scared. He's sleeping in the other. For any reason or no reason, get fucked, America. And I'm proud to be Doogie Boogie Boo.
Your own. So my father did that. He signed a definitive merger agreement yesterday to create what will be the Trump Media and Technology Group and ultimately Truth Social. So go to...
And by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene is suing him for the use of truthermarjorietaylorgreene.com.
Social.com. Sign up. In a few weeks, we're going to start beta testing a website where you can...
Yeah, just beta test the website. Is that how it works?
Go and have an open dialogue where you can go and express your opinions. By the way, on both sides, Seth.
Yeah, anybody. You can go and remember, you can go in there and express any feeling you have, any thoughts. It's freedom. I mean, obviously, you can't disparage, tarnish, or otherwise harm, in their opinion, them or the site. So you can't say, something like Don Jr. is a third generation rich kid loser with an obvious coke problem and the reading comprehension skills of a third grader who got a head wound that is never going to heal. You couldn't say that on there. You could go on Facebook and say fuck Mark Zuckerberg, and you could, I almost said like the dude from CNN, right? Or you could go on Twitter and go, Twitter sucks. Twitter's a piece of shit. You can do all that, right? You can do that on Twitter. Can't do it on Trump's site. Because freedom. I'm proud to lie about America. By the way, just for the record, he's lying. He's a lying piece of shit. This is a lie. There's nothing First Amendment first or pro-America about the site Truth. It has more draconian rules about your behavior than any social media network that's currently running. Nonsense. He's a liar. He's a liar, and this dipshit has to know it.
Not just one way. We don't want just a conservative voice box. We want everyone to be able to do that, but we want people...
We want you to go on there so that we can gather your information and sell shit to you because of the whole, how do we use your data? Oh, by the way, what's the social privacy policy? Information collected and received from you. User registration. At the time of registration on the site, we may ask you to provide certain information, which includes your email address and name. The user registration. Information you may provide. You may elect to provide a variety of information during your interactions with us in the site, such as emails you may send us, SMS or text messages. You may sign up for our emails and newsletters that you sign up to receive from us. Or third parties acting on our behalf receive data. Wait a minute. I understand you're selling the shit to third parties. We or third parties acting on our behalf receive data from you whenever you provide us with information. Whether you do it willingly or you just go, I'm just going to text this. Son of a bitch, how dumb is this? Oh my God, it's just a bunch of dumb. Let's say, when you register or sign up on the site for certain features, products, services, newsletters, or special offers, that's the big one, you may provide us and we may collect your contact information, including your name and email address, information as to your device. When you access and use the site from a computer, mobile phone, tablet, or other electronic device, we may collect information about those devices, including your browser type and internet protocol, your IP address. If you access the site from a mobile phone, tablet, automobile, or other electronic device, we may collect and store information such as device type, operating system, version and type, unique identifiers. What would be a unique identifier? Such as mobile advertising ID or your fucking phone number. That's another way of saying it. Wireless carrier and other related information for that device. What's the single most important related piece of information from your device? Besides your phone number. All right. Information as to your location. When you sign up on the site, you may provide us with your zip code or postcode. We may also collect location information from your devices. you use while accessing the site. We may, right? We may, unless you specifically turn it off on the phone. We scan you. We follow you. We may collect certain information through the use of log files and servers. These servers create log files as part of the process of setup and configuration. Information, a log file might contain an IP address, browser type, internet service provider, date, timestamps, and other usage information and statistical information. Your height, your weight, all of the stuff that's in your on your iPhone in the health app, your pulse rate, your whether or not you're vaccinated, your credit card number. Information collected and received from others. We may receive or collect information about you from third party or others. It may be collected and stored on our servers with other information we may have already received and collected from you. These third parties include service providers or make available advertising, features and functionality and content on or through the site. That through would be the big one there. And I'm proud to be on the Truthy Do. Advertisers, marketing companies, advertising agencies that collect and maintain information on their customers. So they're going to any of that stuff they buy, they're going to keep that, attach it to your account once you make an account. So they've got, get you 6 ways to Sunday. These third parties may provide us with certain information about those customers for the purpose of serving advertisements and or marketing offers to their customers on the site. We're not responsible for and will assume no liability if a business partner or other entity collects, uses, or shares any information about you in violation of its own privacy policy or any applicable laws, rules, or agreements. So when the site gets hacked, which it will, they are telling you in the document that you sign and you acknowledge by signing the other document that you've looked at, even though you never looked at it, that they are not liable for all the shit that was stolen.
Able to communicate equally. Okay, when a guy with a platform like me is on some of these social platforms and can get comparable coverage to some guy who formed an account 5 minutes ago and has 3 followers, you know the deck is stacked against you. So go to truthsocial.com.
Wait a minute. What? Are you saying that there'll be a verified version of things and you won't have to hear from? What the fuck does how many followers you have to do? You have to do with that? Wait a minute. Run that bullshit by me again.
Okay. To create what will be the Trump Media and Technology Group and ultimately Truth Social. So go to truthsocial.com, sign up. In a few weeks, we're going to start beta testing a website where you can go and have an open dialogue, where you can go.
Well, as long as you don't disparage the Trump family, the Trump brand, or the site. Because then they'll kick you off for any reason or no reason, and you can never come back. And they can keep you off using your email address or an IP address if you try to sign up by another email account.
Express your opinions. By the way, on both sides, Seb. Not just one way. We don't want just a,
Well, yeah, but the other side's going to call your dad a shitheel and call you a boozed out coke fiend with no accomplishments. And that's going to get them bounced.
Conservative voice box. We want everyone to be able to do that, but we want people to be able to communicate equally. Okay, when a guy with a platform like me is on some of these social platforms and can get comparable coverage to some guy who formed an account 5 minutes ago and has 3 followers, you know the deck is stacked against you.
Hold on. That's the exact opposite of what he just fucking said. That everybody can get coverage equally, and then he's basically like, look, when some dickhead with 3 followers can get as much coverage as somebody like with my kind of platform, that's bullshit. Basically, he's just saying on the Trump side, he'll automatically be put at the front of the line. And I'm proud to be Fluky Doogie Doo.
Social.com. Sign up. We'll get our people involved in the beta testing. We'll be involved in doing this so we can create the platform that they've told us to go do it. It's not so easy. It's taken months and months, and you tech guys,
yeah, I mean, it's really hard to steal Mastodon's proprietary software that they give as open source, but to claim it as your own, I mean, that's a lot of code to go through and broom out the details in it so that people don't realize you just fucking cut and paste it.
We have people trying to mess with the platforms and try to shut them down because they see this as a real threat because they're very happy.
Well, no, if you start a new social media network, nobody gives a fuck. It will get attacked. People will test it. to see if they can take advantage of it.
With freedom of speech for them, but for no one else. And we can't allow that to happen. So please go check out truthsocial.com. Sign up. As we roll it out, you're going to be involved in that process. You're going to finally have, the open forum for discourse that so many of our people have been looking for.
Yes, the open forum for discourse where they reserve the right to kick you off the platform for any reason or no reason, including without limitation for breach of any representation, warranty, or covenant contained in these terms of service, or of any applicable law or regulation. We may terminate your use or participate in the site or delete your account and any content or information you posted at the time without warning in our sole discretion. For freedom. So they just think that because of the whole QAnon thing that they don't have the kind of followers that do deep dives. By the way, QAnon supporters, you do realize this is just the deep state gathering your information for a targeting system. Just need you to know that. This whole thing was designed by left-wing activists releasing open source software and then taken over by Trump, who, when he was in there, could have replaced all these deep state people, but didn't. And therefore, he's gathering all your information so that you can be put in a 6-foot storage bin, frozen and kept alive, only to have your organs harvested at some point in the future, if they turn out that anybody wants them. And if they don't, then of course we just make human milkshakes to feed to the aliens that have taken over the military bases. I'm just saying. We want open discourse, unless you shit on Trump, in which case. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm sure you will get kicked off if you spell the abbreviated version of "UR" with a proper apostrophe and an E.
Well, the fascists in Silicon Valley said, well, go and build your own platform. And that's exactly what you guys have done. It's up.
Yes, go and build your own fascist platform. And that's what you did.
Screen right now, truthsocial.com. I did a bit of research. I'm super impressed. It already has the media.
Oh, did you? You did a bit of research, did you? So you're good with clause number 23 of the behavior rules on there, Gorka? It didn't sound too Czech Republic to you?
Conglomerate has a valuation of $900 million, and you already have $300 million cash in hand. So this is going places.
No, it's already spent. They're not spending $300 million on this fucking site. Are you nuts? They're renting service space from Amazon, you dick. Jeff Bezos, who Washington Post, who's controlling the big tech oligarchs. They're renting fucking big tech oligarchs' guest house for the revolution.
Follow Don at Donald J. Trump Jr. on Twitter until he gets his new account on that new platform, which is truthsocial.com. He's only got 7 million followers. Let's get him up to 70 million on this new platform in the last minute and a half.
Yes, there'll be 70 million people on Truth. Yeah. Do you know how many ghost accounts are going to be on that stupid site where every reporter in the country has to have a bullshit account on there?
Have with you, Don. What is your specific message to those who have just kind of given up on the idea of America and free and fair elections?
Yeah, they've given up on America. You mean the people who gave up on it a long time ago, and the reason they fight diversity is because it was never the plan in the first place?
Well, listen, stay in the game. I mean, these are all steps that we're taking to make sure that we can level that playing field. The playing field has been so biased for so long, right? We've been playing.
Yes, that we want to rebias it on another side.
While the other side has been playing hardball and doing whatever it takes. Donald Trump opened the door for conservatives to start pushing back, to play the game the way the other side has done it. We need to keep doing that. We need to stay in this game. They would.
Sorry, play the other. Oh, you mean open up a big tent accept a lot of ideas, hash them out internally. Don't go off on attacking each other, even if you have big difficulties. And if somebody, just because somebody disagrees with you, don't, drive them out of the party. That kind of, no. He opened the door for what? Sorry. Okay. What did the other side do?
For us just to tuck tail, to run, to turn the other cheek, to be dejected, to take our ball and go home. We can't allow that to happen.
Well, that's the problem is you only have one ball. So diversity is our strength.
We have to stay in the game. We have to stay involved. We have to be vocal. And
we have to stay in the game. We have to stay involved. By the way, that's brain leakage on Don Jr.'s part. They can see it's fading. That's what this is about. He's got to do relevant activities and he can't do the rallies anymore. So this is where they're trying to pick up. I mean, he'll do a few more, but they're awful. The audience is there. The dude isn't.
Have to be unafraid. And if we do that and you look at what's going on right now with
yes, unafraid to allow people to speak their mind, even if it's against Trump on his own site. And no, not doing that. All right.
Sanity of this administration and all of the leftist agenda, you realize Americans are waking up. It's about time, but they're finally.
Oh, you mean woke? Is that what you're saying? So Don Jr. is pro-woke now, just so you know.
Doing it, and we're actually able to put up a front against a huge, huge platform that has been working against us for half a century.
Working against us for half a century? Sorry, against Trump? What are you talking about? Forbes lied on his behalf for decades. What do you mean working against? Trump wouldn't have been elected without social media. It would have never fucking happened.
It's a powerful message. It's a biblical message. Be not afraid.
A biblical message. Yeah, he doesn't know that. And also, neither of you have earned the right to actually claim biblical relevance.
And America is waking up. Get his book right now, Liberal Privilege, Joe Biden.
Yeah, no, if they don't already have it, they're not going to get it. It's not like they haven't heard about it. It was out last August or some shit.
The Democrat defense of the indefensible. God bless you. Bester Kimberly, say hi to your dad. I'm Sebastian Gorka. This is the reality check. Next, 200,000 cargo containers sitting on ships off the California coast.
I'm sorry. What are they doing on ships?
Privilege, Joe Biden, and the Democrat defense of the indefensible. God bless you. Bester Kimberly, say hi to your dad. I'm Sebastian Gorka. This is the reality check. Next, 200,000 cargo containers sitting on ships off the California.
Yeah, shitting on ships. It's what you do. A lot of people will tell you that if you're a broadcaster or you're on television with some regularity or even what you fancifully pass off as television, that you don't need to do, mouth exercises or warm-up exercises. And I'm glad he proved that's true. You don't need that kind of stuff. And you can say anything on a network that no one's watching. So shitting on sips, sure.
Are we going to have to cancel Christmas? You'll find out here on Newsmax.
On Newsmax, the Gorka. By the way, we're not going to have to cancel Christmas. Also, for the record, right-wingers, maggots, Trumpers, people in the chat room, those of you that allegedly believe that Jesus is the reason for the season, why the fuck would empty shelves ever be a reason to cancel Christmas? Why? If the real reason is the celebration of the birth of Christ and the sacrifice that God made to send his son to earth, to live in earthly form, so that he would have to suffer alongside mankind, so that he would have a level of empathy through his son that he could not have as a deity, and through that experience and the hardship that his son went through, he recognized the divinity of all humans, and he survives death. He overcomes death to remind everyone that there is a life beyond this, that our behaviors on this earth plane will end up informing where we spend eternity. that I had thought, and I'm sorry if I'm confused in this whole family values for years and Liberty University bullshit and the Flashpoint fellas, that's what Christmas was about, not whether or not ships full of plastic goods from China make it in time for you to buy something cheap on Black Friday. Jesus was black. No, he wasn't. He was a Jew. He was not black. That's adorable. We don't know. I mean, I'm unless you're going to go total like black Hebrew Israelite on me, have fun. Jesus wore a do-rag, right? Yeah, more than likely he was born in the late spring, early summer. The date was taken from a European pagan holiday, which has a lot to do with cheering everybody up before the sun gets really low in the sky, because people would off themselves during the silly season. So you set up Christmas as a very joyous time. The happiest time of the year is set up in that period, because that's when the days are the shortest. There's less sunlight. There's there's no the fields have stopped producing. You're living on stored food. It gets really bleak and scary for the next couple weeks. So you have that big party to get you through there for the kids, cheer them up, make sure they're happy. And then New Year's, where everybody gets drunk on the last fermented leftovers from the harvest. And then a couple weeks later, the sun starts to come back up again. There you go. Jesus wants you to buy trinkets from China. Al, come on. I know. Yes. No, Jesus was not born on December 25th. But that's when they celebrate it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like we weren't even using like the Gregorian calendar. That's not important. Yes, December 25th, year 0, right? Or year 1, depending on it. Yeah. So, I was like 800 years old when he built the big ark with his kids. That would be Noah. Noah built the ark. Moses is the guy that the water, separate the water. Christmas, Al's an idiot. Christmas celebrates the winter solstice. Huh? That's exactly what I said. How is that different from my explanation? And it's Xmas, not Christmas, per Futurama. I don't care what Futurama says. It's Christmas. Who cares? No, Jesus built the ark. They changed it. Thank you for keeping. I haven't seen the updated terms of service for Jesus's version of the Bible. The new Joel Osteen version of the Bible has a lot of stuff. Yeah, thank you, Chrissy. I literally just said that. He was born in the summer. It's celebrated December 25th because of the winter solstice. That's what I said. It's Festivus for the rest of you. Should I call them Trump humpers, please? No, I'll work it in. Thank you, Brenda. I know. I am correct. Ancient Christians used the X originally read more. Yeah, only because if they didn't refer to him as the Christ in English. Yeah, what happened to the conservative part of conservative? Exactly. Jesus built my social network. So much better than Jesus built my hot rod, but it's the techno version of that song. Tell folks to reply. Okay. I'm on YouTube. I'm blacked out. Really? Is it because I attacked Christmas? Is that what it is? Is there a war on Christmas on YouTube? I'll check and make sure. It seems to be all right. Let's see. We're okay, right? Yeah, we're still up on YouTube. The groove is in the heart. The grove is in the heart. Yeah. Again, this conversation all started because this asshole is making the point that if shipping containers from China don't arrive on time for Black Friday, Christmas is canceled because somebody else is because Biden is president. And my argument is, if Christmas is really important to you, genuinely important to you, then and you can't find another way to give people gifts that show them that you love them even in the context of buying stuff and giving presents, no one is responsible for the death of Christmas but you in that circumstance, one would think. Right? I'm okay with Black Tuesday. I'm a big fan of Cyber Monday and Giving Tuesday. Jesus is canceled. I thought Moses brought down the 10 Commandments. He did indeed, but he also split the waters. He did not build the ark. That's Noah. Right. Well, that's the argument, is that the materialistic version of Christmas has ebbed and flowed over the years. There's been years where, in economic downturns, it was hard for people to buy presents for their kids. I mean, and that's usually the main focus. If you're a parent, is making sure that your kid is happy over Christmas. If the rest of the year you're having to tighten your belt, you save up for Christmas to be the one time where you can give them a look beyond the horizon, right? You want to give them a present on Christmas because you can't afford to give them the stuff you want the rest of the year, right? That's when it really gets tough. And we're not anywhere near that shit. And the insistence by this asshole that Christmas is canceled because of container ships being blocked because of the backup, because of COVID, is not only just kind of embarrassing in terms of what he believes Christmas represents, but also, shits in the mouth of any person who holds these religious holidays as important to them. Yeah. Watch the Waltons Christmas, right? Or Charlie Brown Christmas.